Hi, this is Ronnie and welcome to my channel and a Punched Out Thursday with Kathy, Krista, myself, and Dorothy. And today we'll be using our punches and I will be using this mood board right here. This was one from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club and it was a challenge, one of the bonus challenges. And I loved it. This is the very first mood board I've ever done that wasn't directly challenged to me. This one I chose to do. But it is gorgeous colors and it made me think of this picture. And I did use a filter on the picture to get the coloring just a little bit closer to what's in the mood board, the yellowish color. And you can see it laying right there. It's kind of like a creamy yellow. And there's like a squiggly thing on there. There's a world map. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to incorporate the colors on there in my layout and the squiggly thing in the world map. So yeah, there's going to be a few things I'm going to use on there. I am going to make an airplane too. It is not on the mood board, but it is on my picture. And I used the mixing bowl that was in that one set, that little thing that's looks like a starfish kind of. It was the center of a flower. And then that little oblong looking thing, there's two of them there. I'm going to use both of them, plus I'm going to use one of them as a template. That's a 2-inch punch I used first with the yellowish creamy color, and then I punched 1¼ inch out of that wood grain. And I'm going to use some more wood grain on my airplane, and I'm going to use some more of the yellowish creamy color. I turned my bowl upside down there. It reminded me of like a seat, the back of a seat on an airplane, but there is no seat on the airplane in the picture. So I thought, okay, I can still use it. I can use it for my tail coming up. So here I'm taking that little oval piece. Well, it's just rounded on the end. I think it was a slot to go in, to put a word in for a label on one of those dies, and I'm going to round the ends on my airplane thing there, and I cut 4, and the reason I cut 4 instead of just 2 is I wanted to make it sturdier, because I thought, man, if it's really flimsy, it's going to be harder to turn over and to put on my layout. So I cut 4, and so 2 is going to go on top of each other. And here I'm just rounding the corners with my little pieces of template, and it don't take long to do it, and see, it matches the other little piece now. And my tail is just going to come up in the back and have like a cross looking thing. Nothing fancy on the tail. Well, nothing really fancy on the airplane either, but I think it kind of looks like one when I get done. Well, a lot like one. I was surprised. It looked more like one than I thought. And I'm going to use liquid glue, plus I'm going to use my ATG adhesive, because I got to worrying at different times that if I didn't get it straight, it'd be easier to straighten it after I got another piece or two on if I had the ATG gun instead of the liquid glue. And here I'm trying to decide how far apart do I want these. And I thought, well, I could go ahead and put the two pieces together and then decide. And in a little while, I'm going to do the title and then decide what I'm going to be doing. And, oh, fair warning, this layout, this video is long. Sorry. I was having trouble making up my mind about stuff, so some things I put on here and took back off. And, of course, I didn't make the airplane in advance, so I don't have a sample one that I did. I made it as you go. All of it was in my head, and I just tried different things out, and they worked out pretty good. The plane has wood grain on it. It has, well, it looks like a brown, and I know they made planes back then, a lot that was made out of wood, so I decided to go ahead and use the wood. I know watching TV, sometimes men would stand on the wings between the two wings. And so I know it's pretty tall there, but I got to thinking about it and decided I didn't want it that tall. On my layout, I didn't want to take up that much space. So mine's not going to probably be as high as they normally would be. I See, I'm going to put it right there and not have it up quite as high. And the thing is, I probably wouldn't have doubled the wings if I had known I was going to be putting it on the plane. But when I went and tested how wide the wings were, and everything, and was trying to decide how big to make everything, I thought, well, maybe I ought to make it narrower or it's not going to fit very well there. So, yeah, it turns out really sturdy. I was surprised. Well, it could be because I did double the wings. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to put 2 pieces of the wood grain on each side. Look at me with a ruler. I measured to make sure the distance was the same on here. But before I get done, I'm going to end up moving it. You can see if you watch close on the video, because I seen it a while ago when I was going through and cutting stuff out. I did move the wing just a little bit. So the right-hand side's just a little wider than the left. But I will be able to fix it. It won't be fixed in the photos at the end or anything, but I am going to fix it. Because if you look at the layout very long, you do notice it, that one is a little bit wider than the other. I didn't notice it the whole time I was doing the layout, but sitting here holding it in my hand and looking at it, yeah, I noticed it. I am going to put, see that line on the side of that paper? It's going to go on the left-hand side. See, I was thinking about the right, but it's going to go on the left-hand side. And the reason is because I decided I wanted to put my title down in the bottom left-hand corner. Once I got that big plane on there, I thought, if I put anything with the picture, make a cluster, I'm not going to have room for the title with the alphas that I have picked out unless I put it on the bottom left. And I thought it'd look good to have that there. So yeah, it's going to go on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. It's a good thing this paper was the kind that you could just flip over. And I almost dropped my iced coffee just now. Did you hear that? I caught it. This paper here, it's for photo matting. They used to have these little pads a lot. And sometimes they were gifted to me, like, when family and different ones would go buy me presents, they knew I matted all my photos, so they'd give them to me. Well, this one here, it's kind of vintage looking. And when I seen that mood board, I thought of this paper pad. And I thought, I'm going to have to mat my pictures in them, my picture in it, and use it on my layout because it's going to go perfect with that mood board. So I am going to double mat it, and one of them is going to be, it's a kind of a sandy color, I guess you'd say it is. And then the other one's going to be a darker color. And see, I put that paper down. I pulled the wrong one out of the pad. As soon as I laid it down, it had words on it, and I thought, it's not supposed to have words on it. It's supposed to have designs on it, because I was thinking, see how the designs are on it? I was thinking in that museum, if they have vintage stuff, that they might have something with scrolls and pillars and stuff like that. And so I thought it'd be a good one to use on my layout. So that's why the other one went back real quick, because I did notice it. I cut this out, and it's an 8x8 paper pad. Well, it definitely did not go as soon as I laid it down. You all can see it does not go. But if you look in the mood board, this paper here, it goes really well. There is some stuff in there the same colors as on it. So I pulled it out just because it went so perfectly with this mood board. I am just loving that mood board. And yeah, everything I'm pulling out, I'm just keeping looking at there. And I am going to pull a globe out. And see that mint colored paper? I wanted to use it. And I still was thinking I might use it. I pulled it out and thought, where would I put it? Because I was going to have it go with that Heidi Swap little pad there that's got stickers on it. I am not going to end up using them. I'm going to try, but they're kind of on the shiny side. And even if I inked them, they were still kind of on the shiny side. So I thought nothing on here looks shiny and brand new. It all looks vintage. So it went to the side. And then I never did use that mint colored piece of paper either because it didn't go. But you can see in the mood board where there's plenty of that. I really did not use that color in my layout. I had good intentions though. I did pull stuff out to do it, but I don't use that color. I use all the other colors that's in there. And see that viewfinder? It's going to stay there, but it won't look like a viewfinder by the time I get done. It stays there because it matches my airplane. And I thought, well, I need to have it repeated just a little bit. And so, yeah, it does stay there. Here, it looks like I'm done with my plane, but I'm not. I'm going to add to it 2 more times, even though it is adhered to my layout. I am trying to decide what to do here. And I thought about, just putting it as a photo mat, but then I decided to kind of offset it a little bit. And then I'm going to cover most of it up. Even though I cut this chunk out, that whole left side practically gets covered up. All you're going to see is what's at the bottom. I am inking it. And the ink I'm using on everything is the antique linen. I'm not using anything else on this layout. I know sometimes I might use more than one ink, but this time it's just the antique linen. Oh, and if you get tired of watching the video, I am so sorry, but it is long. It's going to take forever to upload. But yeah, I cut a whole lot of it out. It was a whole lot longer. And I think it was indecision. And of course, if I'd made an airplane ahead of time, I might have done it a little faster. I don't know. It seemed to go together pretty good. I think it's the indecision that was causing me problems. Well, I did add to the airplane, so it was an ongoing thing. So yeah, but I do like how my layout turned out. I think it goes with the mood board really well. See these stickers here? I'm not going to use them on my layout either. I think I am, but I'm not. The first sticker I put down, I put it on my, see how sticky that is? I put it on my picture and it changes colors on there because of the black in the background behind it. And when it was on the sheet, it had white behind it. It looked completely different once I put it down, so I didn't want it no more. And I pulled out my title because, I pull out the title and work on it or something that I know I'm going to put on the layout when I can't make up my mind. And so I am going to put National Air and Space Museum on here. And I'm using these jelly bean soup stickers. And yeah, they were like perfect for this. There really isn't no brown down there in the bottom on the mood board where it has those circles, but you can see it in the mood board itself. So I went ahead and used it. I mean, I figured if I could see it on there, I was going to use it. And these are wheels. I took one of those pieces that I made the tail of the plane with. I cut it in half, and then I flipped the piece over and used one end as a template for both of the straight ends so that would be rounded on each end and be smaller because I didn't have, this was the smallest one made like that. There was like 3 and this was the smallest one. And I wanted my wheels smaller than my tail, apparently. And so, yeah, I'm making wheels. A long time ago, I know that the planes flew around with the wheels hanging down at first. And it wasn't until later they had them fixed where they would go up into the plane. So I thought, oh, I really need some wheels hanging down there. And so again, I stopped and worked on my plane. And still one more time, I'll be working on my plane. I'm not done yet. I found this camera, and it may not be the era of when the plane was, but it was the right color. So I went ahead and used it on my layout. And I'm not done with it either. Take my word for it. Oh, here's where I pulled out. I walked away. And if you noticed, I am closer. And I guess when I turned my camera back on, this is where I zoomed in and didn't even know it. And it's going to stay zoomed in for the next video and the one I uploaded. Well, it uploaded. Yeah. It's going to be on way back when. And so it will upload before this one will. And yeah, it's going to be zoomed in. And so it kind of makes the video jerky. I don't know what I did. I guess I hit it with my hand when I went to turn it on or something. I thought I had done it when I took my SD card out. But you can see right after I came back and turned it on that it zoomed in. Yeah, unfortunately, and I do not notice it. Sorry, I mean, I would not have zoomed in on purpose. I'm trying to get this, well, it's a kind of like a ticket thing. I'm not sure what it's for, but it looks vintage, so I decided to use it on my layout. Oh, here's what I think to put some highlights on my plane. I thought I better go ahead and do it right then. I seen the wheels, what it was, and I thought, I need some highlights on that wheel. So I went ahead and got my white gel pen out and put them on there so that I wouldn't forget. But I'm done with the plane now, except for straightening it, making the wingspan even on both sides, which, you know, I will do. That is my plan anyway. This is a little hand with a finger, and I thought, now that looks vintage. So I decided it was going to go ahead and go on my layout too. But see, I got my world on there, and I put it over the top of the viewfinder reel and covered most of it up, so you really can't tell what that is. But I got the part of the mood board on there, and I was really tickled over that. But I am putting stuff over the top of it. I am doing clustering because I found such great stuff when I got the Tim Holtz ephemera out. And there's just all kinds of stuff in there. And so, yeah, instead of just using one or two pieces on here, I have to use several. And the place I'm working on right now, it kind of looks like, once I put that strip on the outside, it looked like white space there, and I needed to fill it in. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. But then, you know, like I said, it was such awesome stuff that I just kept putting it on here. I liked it all. I am inking it all up. I think the darker pieces I might not have, but everything else I did ink up because they did look vintage already. That biggest piece down there that I had since get-go, it just says adventure is here, and then everything else has something to do with the United States Post Office or airplanes or tickets or something. And see that parcel post down there? I thought I seen one that said special delivery. Well, I couldn't find it. And I had dropped it because that packaging's tore. I have replaced it already. But it fell out and it was in the floor. So I gave up and put the parcel post on there. But I will find the special delivery and change it out. And I think it's changed before the pictures. I'm not sure. But it does say special delivery now instead of parcel post. And these are regular enamel dots, but they're the matte ones. Like I said, I had metal and I had wood. And I believe these are just the matte ones. And I thought, well, you know, I haven't never used the matte ones, and I think it'll go really good with this layout. So they're the ones I'm going to end up on, you know, using on the layout. And of course I used some Heidi Swap gold. And I think I'm done there, and I'm not. See, I forgot to turn the camera back on. I put some string there because of the squiggly string that's on the mood board. And, oh, and I also put some mesh there too. I must have missed quite a bit that I didn't record. But yeah, well, the video's long enough. Anyway, I put some magic mesh on there in gold, and then I put that string on there. And I thought I had it recorded, but I don't see it. But yeah, that's it. That's all. It still says parcel post. Somewhere along the line, I do change it to special delivery. I don't know when, but I do. But I thought it'd go better with the airplane. But thank you all so much for watching. If you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you who are, thank you so much. But I have links down there below for the other gals, so you can go check their channels out and get inspiration to use your punches and your dies on your layouts, because we're all four going to have different ideas on our layouts to help you pull yours out. But yeah, thank y'all so very much for watching, and don't forget, this is the last week. There's going to be the drawing for the $50 in scrapbook.com, so make sure you go back to the video. If you haven't already done a comment, put a comment on there, like and subscribe to all the channels. But yeah, thank you for watching, and the winner will be announced August 6th. But have a happy scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.